tutorial. So today we'll be cutting and sewing a simple skirt. Okay, so this video will be in two parts: the cutting video and the sewing video. Okay, so for the cutting video, this is the cutting video. We'll do the cutting video first. For the cutting video, we're going to be using a pattern paper for it. So after we're done sketching it out in the pattern paper, then we use it to trace out on our main fabric. Okay, so our pattern paper is not on fold. Okay, so it's just one piece. That means we are cutting one piece of this, but when we are placing it on our fabric, the fabric has to be on fold. Okay, because it's the front we are cutting first. For this style of skirt, this is a simple skirt. There's so many types of skirts, but this is a simple basic skirt. Okay, so the front is gonna be on fold, while the back will be in two pieces. Okay, when we get to the back, I will explain better. Okay, for now, just need the front. This is the front you're cutting with the pattern paper. The pattern paper is not on fold, but when cutting on the fabric, it's going to be on fold. Okay, so basically what we need for our basic skirt is our waist to hip, the length of the skirt. So my length of my own skirt is going to be a short skirt above the knee. Okay, if it is a long skirt, like a floor length skirt, what you need is your waist to hip, the half length. Half length is usually your knee length, 2 inches above your knee length. Okay, then the length. Okay, since mine is a short skirt, it's going to be waist to hip, the length, the round waist, and the round hip. Basically, these are the measurements that we need. Okay, so let's start cutting. I drew out half an inch baseline, which means this is our waistline. This is the waistline. Okay, so we're starting with this. So guys, there's something I would love you guys to know. Assuming we are cutting on the fabric directly, okay, and the fabric is on fold, we need to know how many inches we need to fold. Don't just fold our fabric and just waste it like that. No, so we really need to know how many we need to fold. Okay, so I'll do that on pattern paper as well, so that you work with that whenever you're cutting. You need to know how many inches you need to fold. Don't just waste the fabric. Okay, so for you to know how many inches you need to fold, all right, or you need to start with, we use the biggest circumference. That's the biggest round circumference. In this case, the only circumference we have is our waist and the hip and probably the leg opening. Okay, but in this case, the biggest circumference here is the hip. All right, my waist is 27, my hip is 38, and probably the leg opening might be lesser than this, lesser than 38. So 38 is the biggest circumference, and 38 divided by 4, that is 9.5. Okay, so that's the measurement you need to take. So when you take your tape here, you measure at 9.5. It's 9.5, but you still need to add extra inches for the allowance. So let's add extra 2 inches allowance. So basically, if you're folding, you should make sure you fold 11.5 or 12. Hope you understand. When folding your fabric, you fold with the biggest circumference. So if the hip is the biggest circumference, that's the hip divided by 4 plus extra 2 inches. So at least you should have that measurement on fold. Okay, it can be more, but it shouldn't go below the hip divided by 4 plus 2 inches. It shouldn't go below that. Right? So now let's take our vertical measurements. So our vertical measurement is basically the waist to hip and the waist to the left. Okay, that's our vertical measurement. So my waist to hip is 9, and my length of the skirt is 17. I added extra 2 inches allowance for the folding of the hem. Then we'll come here, so that we'll be able to have a straight line. That's why we're doing this. Then we'll come here. My waist to hip is 9. Remember to start at the baseline. Okay, the hip line. Waist to hip is 9. My length 17. Extra 2 inches. So now we have to what? Straighten the lines. This is my hip line. This is the hip. This is the length. And this is the allowance. Okay. So now we're going to be taking the horizontal measurement. This was the vertical measurement. Now we're taking the horizontal measurement. So horizontal measurement is basically the round waist, the round hip. Alright. Okay, so my waist measurement is 27 divided by 4, that's 6.75. So we're going to mark 6.75 here. Okay, so you're starting from this line, then you mark out 6.75. This should be around here. So there'll be a dart in the skirt. So that is usually 1 inch. It starts from 1 inch. So I'm going to use 1 inch for that. I'm going to add the 1 inch. Then the sewing allowance 1 inch. People normally add more than 1 inch for the allowance, but I usually 1 is just basically fine. So long as you got your exact measurement, then 1 inch is fine. Okay. So this is where I'm marking. This is the final marking. My waist is 6.75. I marked it. Then 1 inch for that, 1 inch for the allowance, sewing allowance. So for the hip, my hip is 38. 38 divided by 4, that's 9.5. So I'm going to mark 9.5 here. Starting from here, this is 9.5, then extra 1 inch allowance. Okay, right? Then the length of the skirt. How do you determine the opening? Okay, if it's just normal straight skirts, measurement you took on this hip line, you just mark it down here, right? So I have, what do I have here, including the allowance? What do I have here? I have 10.5. Remember my hip is 9.5 plus 1 inch allowance, so that's 10.5. So I'll just take 10.5. I'll also mark it here. That's if you want normal straight skirt. But if you want a pencil skirt, pencil skirts are the one that is tight down. That's the length of the skirt is tight. Alright, what you do is you have 10.5 here. You take out 1 inch. This is including the allowance. So you take out 1 inch and we're left with 9.5. So you come here, you mark the 9.5. So let's assume I'm making the pencil skirt. Okay, so this is 9.5. Alright, including the allowance. So no longer adding allowance to this. This is 9.5. Alright, so you just connect. So now it's time for connecting the lines. So this is the waist to the hip. Okay, then the hip to the length. It's a curve over here, so make sure it's a curve, not a pointy edge. So when you're doing this, don't just go like this. You straighten this one, like this has to be on a straight line. Okay, so are you seeing it? So basically we're done with our skirts, but what's left is just going to mark my dots. Okay, so to mark your dots, what you need is your nipple to nipple measurement. Okay, from one nipple to the other nipple, what's the measurement? Mine is 7. All right, so 7 divided by 2, that is 3.5. Okay, so I'm going to mark it here. You start from the center front. This is center front. This is where you start from. Place it on the waistline. Then 3.5. Well, you add extra half an inch for the sewing, so that will make it 4. So 3.5 plus half an inch, that made it 4. So I've marked my dart. This is my dart. So when I'm cutting it out, I'll have to notch it so I will know where I'm supposed to put my dart. Okay, so basically this is done. Now I'm going to cut it out and then do for the back. So this skirt, I want to tell you, this skirt is high-waisted skirt. It's not on the low waist, it's high-waisted. So if you are doing for the low waist skirt, you take a measurement from the low waist down to the hip. All right, mine is high-waisted, so it's above my navel. This is a high-waist skirt. Okay, so our front piece is ready. This is cut on fold. So we're cutting one, but the fabric has to be on fold. Now let's cut the back. So for the back piece, there will be a zip at the back. Normally people put their zip at the back or at the side. I prefer the zip to be at the back, okay? So let's work with that all through my trainings. The zip will be at the back, except for some I'm going to put in the front, but that is a different tutorial on its own. I'm going to show you guys how to put a zip flyer in the front pants, alright, or skirts. So for now, it's back zip that we'll be working with. So for this back zip, what we'll do, you place your pattern, make sure that it's aligned. Take 1 inch. Let me draw a straight line so that it's a guide for me. Okay. So from this line, this is my center back. This is my center back. Okay. So I'm going to measure 1 inch. This is for the zip. 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch. This is for the zip. This is where the zip will be. So I'm going to straighten up the line. Okay. So this my skirt now, the center front will start from this zip line, not from here. From this, so this is my zip allowance, and it's 1 inch. So this front one will start from this zip line. Okay. If your paper is not staying still, you can pin it down, all right, for it to stay still. Okay. So when it starts from here, like this. Okay. So it's either you trace it out, as when I pinned it down, no need for me to trace it out, I'll just cut it all through. But since it's not pinned down, I'll just trace it out. Trace. Okay. This is going to be hard for you. Make sure you pin the paper down. This thing I'm doing, you can actually do it directly on the fabric. But because I'm teaching, I would love to use the pattern paper for it. Tracing, you mark out the dart. Remember, you mark the dart here 4 inches, so we're going to mark it out here. So basically, you just need to cut out. Okay, so this is the back piece. Back. Cut. You're cutting 2 pieces of this, all right? If you can put the 2 pieces together, then place this and cut on it, that's perfect. But you want to cut them 1-1, make sure the back piece is cut 2, while the front piece will be on fold, and you cut only 1 of that. So I will notch my dart area where I just marked. Notch it. When you're trying to find the fabric, you make sure to notch it as well. Notch it. So I've notched the 2 of them. So basically, my skirt is ready. So I'll bring my fabric, then place this in my fabric and cut out. Okay guys, this is my fabric. I'll be using African print for this. Okay. So I've folded my fabric into 2. For the front, remember it has to be on fold. But for the back, even if it's on fold, when you're cutting, make sure you open it up and have your 2 pieces for the back. Okay, so my fabric is already on fold. This is my front piece. So this is center front. Make sure it's center front is on the folded line. It's on the folded line. Okay, so I'll place it like this. Okay, then I'll cut out. I'll use this as a wedge. Okay, make sure the center front line is directly on the folded line. There's no allowance. Make sure when folding your fabric, the right side, that's the good side of the fabric, is facing each other. Then the bad side is the one you're cutting off. Okay, so I'm going to keep this aside. Then drop my fabric. I still have some left. So the same thing we did for the front, so we did for the back. The only difference is that the back part will be 2 pieces. That's just the only difference. Okay. So what's left for this skirt is the band, the waistband. Okay. Let's see how many inches we have here, if it is going to be enough for the waistband. So for the waistband, it's your waist, your round waist. My round waist is 20 to 28 plus extra 2 inches. That's 30. So I'm cutting out the length of 30. Okay, let's check what's here, if it's going to be enough. Okay, I have 12 and a half. It's not to 15. Remember, it's on fold. If I open it up like this, then I'll have to measure 30 straight down. Okay, so to make it easier for you, just fold your fabric. That way you can get the half point. That's the midpoint of your waistline. Mine is 30, including the 2 inches. 30. So remember, by 2, that's 15. Since it's on fold, I'm looking for 15. So let's check if this is going to be enough now. Still 1 inch less. Okay, let's check. Now, okay, I have 15. All right, so to get the width of the band when it's sitting on your skirt is 2 inches. Okay, but since it's not on fold, when you fold it like this, it's not on fold, it's open, we will take 5 width, so that when you fold it, it becomes 2.5, and when you use half an inch to join it to the skirt, what's left is going to be 2 inches. So your band will be 2 inches. So now, since it's open like this, it's going to be 5 inches. Let's confirm the length is still 15. Okay, it's still 15. Okay, so now we're taking 15. We're taking 5 rather, sorry. 5. Start from this line. So this is my band right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gum interfacing on this, hairstay on this, so that it's going to be a bit thick. Alright, right now it's very light. So it's nice to always have an interfacing so that when it sits on your waist, it doesn't fold over. But when there's an interfacing, it's kind of like stiff and it sits properly well on your waist. Okay, so when I'm going to do this, I'm going to show you.